So, a crime has been committed, and a man is in jail. But the crime that was committed is not the crime that man sits in jail for. And that man who sits in jail is not guilty of the crime that was committed. A very serious crime was committed, a crime of the highest order. The caretakers of justice in this society have betrayed that justice for the gamesmanship of their own political payoff. And when you have a justice system where the people who operate in it try to validate their existence and prove their importance to the society by committing acts of injustice, then you no longer have a justice system, you've got a legal system. And that's what you've got in Yolo County. You've got a legal system. You don't have a justice system. You don't have a justice system when DAs get promoted based on their convictions. You don't have a justice system when the way that they pad funding to their department is based on those conviction rates, and you'll never find a better example of cash for convictions than in the case against Ajay Dev. You don't have a justice system when the DA piles on 92 counts, inflames the jury with a bunch of bogus pornography charges, invokes a bunch of cheap, shameless, racist stereotypes, and then carries on with impunity. You don't have justice when my tax dollars and your tax dollars and Ajay's parents' tax dollars and Peggy's and even her kids' tax dollars not only fund Ajay's imprisonment, but fund the salaries of the real criminals who occupy the building 3 blocks down.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Real criminals. Sanjay mentioned Detective I destroyed my notes Herman, but he's a minion. He's a servile dependent of the Deputy District Attorney, Steve Mount. Steve Mount, you ought to come down here and answer some questions to the public you supposedly represent. He won't come down here. He's not going to come down here because he doesn't want you to know the type of antics that took place in the courtroom that Sanjay talked about. He won't come down here and introduce himself, the real Steve Mount, to you. The real Steve Mount that accords as much value to a human life as whatever his own personal political payoff may be. Ajay Dev to Steve Mount is a commodity, an opportunity. The real Steve Mount sits at his desk and works hard to intentionally manufacture a case with lies, deceptions, and dirty tricks. Why? So that Ajay can have a life as a living corpse? And so for what? For a conviction statistic? To pad his resume? To fund his department? Ajay and I have been friends for over 20 years. We went to undergraduate school together. We played soccer together. We grew into adulthood together. We became family-centered, responsible citizens together. He's an innocent man. He's a lover of justice, an advocate for women's rights. He's an advocate for animal rights, an advocate for the poor and for the needy. And I can't get over the tragedy of it, because I look in his parents' eyes, and every time I see Peggy and their kids, what a waste. Detective Herman, Deputy District Attorney Steve Mount walk around scot-free, while Ajay Dev rots in a cell. It's not right. We deserve better and we demand more. We've got to free Ajay Dev. Thank you.